Hey, someone who always speaks the truth on real estate is Develle Morrison with Bosley Real Estate, and she's joining us this morning. Good morning, Develle. How are you?
Pretty good. How about yourself? I'm also very excited about the whole ripping out of the bike lanes on Yonge Street. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. I'm done. I'm done being diplomatic about this. I'm done. And I have no patience for it. And, you know, these, cyclists have died. Yeah, cyclists have died because these things have been put in willy-nilly, and absolutely nothing has been done to educate cyclists or pedestrians as to what their responsibilities of the road are. And I am tired of it only falling on me. If you
I agree.
Like, seriously.
I think that there's enough side streets for them to take. Like, instead of using, Avenue or Yonge Street, why not take something like Poplar Plains? Instead of taking Bloor, take Harvard. Like, there's so many other streets for them to cycle on that are not major streets that, I'm just so happy that change is coming. So, I'm curious, what day will we be able to drive down Yonge Street really again?
My guess is summer. My guess is by summer it'll be opened up. I got no problem waiting till then. And like I said, I think he knows that this is a winning strategy, and he has the absolute right to do it. The city has messed up our ability to get to places and do what? Pay taxes. Taxes that the provincial government depends on so that they can disperse services around the province. If you're going to do that, then yes, they come and they fix your mess. But now let's talk about something a little closer. Let's talk about real estate because Pierre Poilievre, who's been accused of not necessarily putting meat on the bones in terms of policies, put something fairly novel in the window, wanting to remove the GST on certain types of homes.
Yeah, it's interesting. I guess I'm still trying to get more details on it because right now it's, they're just saying eliminating the HST on new homes built under $1 million, which sounds like a start. Mm-hmm. But my question is it the inputs that go into building that house, right? Because usually
so you're talking about like if the tradespeople building the house have to buy the wood, do you then take it off of the wood? Oh, that's interesting. I didn't think about that. Or is it the final product? Interesting.
That's what because in general, when you buy a property, you actually don't pay HST on it. Okay. Right? Yeah. And so that's why they've come out with this thing, but I'm like, okay, but is it the inputs that, the developer has to buy, spend money on the HST in order to build their property? That's what I'd like a little bit more clarity on.
Yeah, that's really interesting. You know what? You've blown my mind a little bit, Develle. I'm gonna do some research into that. Maybe we can talk about it next week. I'll literally go to the Conservative Party and see what their thoughts are on that, and I'll report back to you next week.
Yeah, because I still think that municipalities definitely still need help with infrastructure. Yeah. So I don't think it's good to rob one kitty for another. Yeah. They need both. So those are some of my, I guess, sort of queries and questions about how exactly does this work. But any time that we can take money away from the building of homes, that's great.
All right. Oh, sorry. Go on.
As I've said to you many times before, and I think what you're about to get to is the city and the development charges. Yeah. And, if you looked at a $600,000 condo and you removed all the taxes and all the development charges, it would really be $450,000.
Yeah.
And so we do have a lot of people running around the city going, we need affordable housing, we need affordable housing. But how are you doing it when you are, charging the developers all of this money? And, the city's got this new plan around reducing the development charges on purpose-built rental properties. So those are built condo buildings that are built specifically just for rentals only and not ownership at all. But so there's this company called Finnegan Marshall, and they're like, we're going to call them Yoda or some godlike thing. And they do all the costing for developers. And these people are really, really smart.
Yep.
And I would like to see them call Finnegan Marshall or Neil Finnegan, the owner, and do a costing with him to do something that actually works. Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of this is sort of a shot in the dark. And, with some of the incentives that they've come up with around rental housing, there was a quote in an article by someone who works for the company called Fitzrovia.
Yes.
And they are doing a lot of rental buildings. And, they weren't exactly like, oh, yay, this is a great idea. They were kind of like, we'll have to see how the numbers play out.
Sure. Because we need every stakeholder to row in the same direction. And if one level of government decides to make a change, if the others don't follow suit, or if the others don't recognize that change and then put a policy in place that essentially negates that change, then what have we actually done?
Yeah, exactly. And, some of the incentives that the city is coming up with, it's only based on the fact that the developer who's doing the rental building needs to have 20% of their units as affordable. And what that means is that, their one bedrooms have to be able to be rented for less than $1,100 a month. And they're two bedrooms, but most people rent one bedrooms for $2,400 a month.
Yeah.
And, they're saying that they want the two bedrooms to be rented for around $1,800 a month, when the market value of that is really $3,100 a month. So if a developer is going to do 20% of their units as affordable housing, can they even make ends meet?
Well, to me, it feels like the city or the government, generally speaking, is putting the cart before the horse. Like you've got to before you can put the onus on the developer, you have to make it financially viable for them to make the change that you want them to make.
Exactly. And so that's where I feel like, you know what? You guys need to call this guy Neil Finnegan, because he's brilliant.
Hey,
figure this out.
We're going to leave it there.
Okay.
We spent a little bit of time talking bike lanes off the top, but I don't care. Loved it. You have a great Saturday. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.